We try to collect as much evidence as we can, ask what happened, try to involve the casino. We had a complaint for 1.9 million. Instructions from the casinos are not clear. And what made me stay those 6.5 years, people and purpose.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Casino Guru News live studio. By popular demand, today we're joined by Petronela Kontos, head of complaint resolution team at Casino Guru. Welcome, Petronela. It's great to have you here with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Hi.
Hi. It's really our pleasure, since I know that you're not very fond of these interviews. It's not your favorite thing in the world. So I'm really happy you didn't turn us down, because I feel like Casino Guru's Complaint Resolution Center is very exciting topic, and we don't talk about it enough, and we should. And I mean, it's so much more complex than people realize, I guess. And for a lot of people, it's still kind of a mystery to know how it works. So that's why we're here today, to talk a little bit about that, and also about you, because you've been a part of Casino Guru for quite a long time now, 6 years or something like that.
It is 6.5 almost.
Oh, 6.5 years. Okay. And you've become essential part to Casino Guru's story. So yeah, once again, welcome. And I think we can start ahead, if you don't mind. I would like to begin with some sort of introduction from you. Very, very short, if you don't mind. Just tell us, please, what exactly Complaint Resolution Center is, what it focuses on, and maybe what's your role as a head of Complaint Resolution team.
I'm very happy to be here. The Complaint Resolution Center at Casino Guru, it's a service that helps players to resolve disputes with online casinos. Our main goal is fairness and transparency. We have to make sure that players are treated properly, and they have a clear and professional way how to communicate with online casinos. I have an amazing team, and my role is to oversee them. Make sure that everything runs smoothly and support them as much as I can.
Sure. So as of now, you're more like a manager, and you help with only the hardest of complaints, if I remember that correctly. And also, just to sum it up, yeah, basically, what I heard from you is that Complaint Resolution Center is a service, and it's basically something like customer service, casinos customer service, but we are like a third party, and we basically offer as an affiliate to this resolution for players all over the world, and with plenty of casinos. So yeah, that was just to sum it up. Now, very important question, because I know that over years, you and your team have managed probably tens of thousands of player complaints. And since you're always the one with the current numbers at hand, I mean, this is a sort of a backstage information that Petronelka is always the available one, always knows how many complaints we've resolved so far. So yeah, I have to ask you directly instead of trying to remember it myself. How many player complaints have we managed to resolve so far? And what does that amount to in terms of money that was returned back to players?
Yes, over the years, my team and we handled a huge number of complaints. Tens of thousands, that's correct, in total. To give you the latest numbers, there is almost 63,000 complaints published on our website. And we successfully resolved more than 18,000 of them, which amounts to over $57 million US. I should also mention that the percentage of the resolved complaints isn't as high as our competitors, because we publish all the cases that we believe has a chance to be resolved or make sense to share it publicly. we don't just focus on easy wins, but transparency is really important to us.
Yeah, so that's really first of all great number, huge amount of complaints, and a lot of them resolved. That's simply amazing. And also, I heard what you're saying that every single one of these player complaints are published and are transparent on our Casino Guru website, which is, I guess, also a very important part of why we do what we do is to not only ensure transparency, but also to help the players maybe find some case that's similar to theirs, and maybe to know how to solve it or even how to avoid it completely. So that's awesome. And I think everyone can see the benefits that these complaint resolution can bring to players. Yeah, sure. But what about Casino Guru? It's like, what's the value for us in what we're doing? Because this is a free service we're talking about, and it's not like we're getting directly any money from it. So why do that?
Resolving complaints is really at the heart of what we do at Casino Guru. Even though the service is completely free for players, it brings a lot of value to the company. First and foremost, it builds trust. Players know that we take fairness seriously, and we are willing to step up for them. The philosophy behind it has always been transparency and accountability. We want to make sure that players are treated fairly, while we also give a chance to Casino to be accountable for their actions.
Sure.
Maybe improve their processes as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Also, I guess, or I know that we have a lot of data from these player complaints. We can work with them. We know what players have issue with, what they want, what they need from a casino. So we truly build a relationship with customers that way and with players, which I think is also very, very impressive. And you told us about the vision or the philosophy behind it, and you said it was always the part of Casino Guru's package. So was it always the same even before Complaint Resolution Center even launched? Because I know that you were part of Casino Guru before it officially started. So you can tell us maybe a little bit of how those days looked like.
When the Complaint Resolution Center started first, it was really small. It was just 2 people handling complaints by email.
Oh, wow.
There wasn't much structure, and they were figuring out the things as they went. Learning how to talk to casinos and how we can help the players. As the team grew, I joined in and become a part of it. Even back then, the goal was clear: fairness and transparency for players. Over time, we improved our processes, added better tools, learned so many things from users and from casinos, from our difficult cases. So it was all about learning and building foundation for what the center is today.
I think it's amazing how, from 2 people, we managed to grow somehow to a lot of a team of people that needs overseeing by someone like you. And also that you managed to grow with the company. I think that's very cute part of the story as well. And yeah, even looking inside in as a sort of a outsider, when I'm not exactly an outsider, but, I'm not working with player complaints, I can also see that you managed to improve your processes quite impressively. So my question is sort of overall, what do you think, what's the biggest change since, before that you do now? And And I'm asking specifically maybe about, I don't know, response time, whether it's improved, that we are able to respond to player complaints faster, or you mentioned the tools that we use, or maybe the way we categorize these complaints, or what do we do with the data and that sort of thing.
Over time, the processes have really evolved. When I joined, things were really more informal.
Okay.
We handled each complaint as it came. Now we have clear procedures, better tools, and a much more organized way of working. Response times have improved a lot, although they still depend on casinos and players as well.
Okay.
And also on how many complaints we are handling at the given time.
Yeah.
Communication is more structured too, both for players and operators, so nothing gets lost or overlooked. We also got much better in how we communicate and categorize the complaints, which helps us to be consistent. And consistency allows us also spot the trends and even prevent similar problems for other players down the line.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant when I say that we know what customers or players are struggling with, what they want to. Yeah, it's very easy for us, thanks to these player complaints, to spot that something is happening, something is not okay. Maybe back, although to your response times, if I may ask, usually how long does it take you or your team to respond to a complaint, like ballpark?
Well, the team is divided into first responders and the resolvers. And we have a promise on our website that we publish each complaint within 48 hours.
48 hours.
So no bank holidays or a vacation for first responders.
Oh my God.
So 48 hours until the complaint goes live. And then each involved party has 7 days to react.
To react.
If after first 7 days, player or casino doesn't react, we prolong this timer for additional 7 days.
Okay. Still, I feel that's very, very quick. And your first responders, well, hats off to them. I mean, they really have to be passionate about what they do to be able to handle that. So, wow. I'm just very, very impressed by all of what you said. Also, how have your responsibilities changed over the time? Because you were the first responder when you started, right? If I remember correctly. And now your job is totally different than it used to be. So I would like to know, like, how did it change? And also, what made you stay in Casino Guru for 6.5 years? That's a long time.
At the beginning, we started, it was just a few of us, and we were first responders and resolvers at the same time.
Okay.
We were doing everything. We were learning as each complaint came. And I was one of them. Then I suddenly realized that I really liked the complaints. I was put into a position when I published all the complaints. So I was the very first responder. And then
First and only.
First and only. And I was sending complaints to the rest of the team, and they were contacting the casinos. Now what I do, I'm trying to help my team. From those 2 people, our team grew to 30 today.
Wow.
And I'm trying to oversee them, help them as much as I can, try to make the procedures and the entire process more smooth. And what made me stay those 6.5 years, people and purpose.
Oh, wow.
When I say people, I mean work environment and my colleagues who are also friends. And purpose, we are able to help, really help.
Sure. So I guess that's a really important thing for you and really big part of what complaint resolution team does. And I guess for all of us at Casino Guru, really, it's all about helping and improving the industry itself. And this is just one way of how we do it. Let's talk about specific or not specific complaints, but I would love to know the life of a regular complaint. So first and foremost, where do players need to go to submit the complaint?
We have a form on our website, and you go through a simple questionnaire. And if it doesn't help, then you have an option to submit an official complaint.
And that questionnaire serves to help players without even submitting a complaint. So it's okay. Can they are there any other channels that they can use?
We receive some complaints via email as well or through our forum, but we always direct those users to use the official form, because then we have a chance to have all the supporting evidence, all the communication in one place.
Sure.
And also casinos are aware of those problems. They can react, they can help solve the problem. So the official form is the ideal.
Yeah, sure. And is the communication only in English? And I'm asking because we're international website, right? So I guess not. I guess it's not only in English.
Well, the users write their complaints in their language. If I'm not mistaken, we have 16 languages they can choose from. And then we use Google Translator. So everything is translated to English and we reply mostly in English. Some of our resolvers and first responders, they are able to reply in other languages, but we use 90% of the time English. And it's very simple tool. It works perfectly. How exactly it works, don't ask me. It's too technical for me, but it works magic.
So yeah, so we're satisfied. As long as it works, it's all good. And I guess that they will receive a response in English and they can translate it back to their preferred language. And also, what would you say is the key information players should include in their complaint, just to make sure, that you guys have enough to go on?
Well, it's really straightforward. What happened, when it happened, casino's name, disputed amount. They can also attach up to 5 screenshots if they think the screenshots will help us to understand the issue. We don't like really long texts as we receive more than 1,000 complaints a month. So please keep it simple. Stick to the facts. If we need more information, we will definitely ask. So simple facts and maybe some screenshots to help us understand.
Yeah, to prove your point, this is what happened and I have proof right there. Absolutely understand. When you say, I'm thinking about what you said, that you prefer short messages just to stick to the fact, because I guess you guys are busy. So that makes sense. And what happens after that? Someone at our end receives this player complaint and how it continues on. Well,
as soon as the complaint is submitted, first response team checks all the complaints. If we see that we can help, the complaint goes live. And then we ask follow-up questions. We change the timer back to the player. We wait 7 days for their answers, for supporting evidence, ideally, for more information if needed. And then as soon as we have answers and we see that the cooperation of the casino is needed, then we contact casinos. And this is made by the resolvers already. So the first response communicate with users only. And then resolvers come on stage and they contact the casinos if needed.
Yeah, and they move forward with the complaint. But I guess there are some complaints that don't need involvement of resolvers or involvement of other casinos, and you can basically help them just yourselves. And also, not every complaint gets resolved, right? Not every can be even resolved. So what are some cases where we simply cannot resolve a complaint?
Well, it is unfortunately a part of the process.
Part of the job, yeah.
Part of the job that we can't help to everyone. If a player doesn't respond within those 7 or additional 7 days, then we mark the complaint as rejected.
Okay.
Players always have an option to come back and ask to reopen their case, and we absolutely do that as well. But if they don't respond in the first 7 and then 7 days, we mark the complaint as rejected. If we also learned on the way that the player really broke some rules and they are essential, we are unable to help. But we can also explain why it happened, and maybe they're going to avoid the same mistake in the future. If there is a need to contact the casino and casino doesn't either reply at all, or they are not willing to follow our suggestions, then we mark the complaint as unresolved. And those unresolved complaints aren't pointless because based on how serious the issue was and what was the amount, the disputed amount, it affects safety index of the casino on our website.
A lot of information. And I'm thinking about the most important question I wanted to ask is that how's the cooperation with casino going? Are they usually, as you said, uncooperative, or they listen to our suggestions? If you have to say, like, generally, what's the attitude?
Well, we have some casinos that they do not respond at all. And we mark those complaints if a casino has more than 10 complaints that they completely ignored. We mark those casinos as no reaction policy casinos. We have a little less than 100 of those in our database.
Oh, that's still a lot.
Still a lot, but regarding the number of casinos that we contact daily, it's not really a big percentage. And casinos are really helpful in many, many cases. They do not follow their terms and conditions blindly. And this also changed over the time. It wasn't always like that. And the bigger is the company itself, the bigger is the impact that we have on casinos, on their behavior. And they are really user-friendly, many of them. And I really do appreciate that.
That's great. I mean, we also had as a guest Matthew Novota, and he was talking about something similar when it comes to changing their TNCs, how casino changed their approach, and basically became more responsive and more open-minded to all of the things we are trying to do for the industry, which is awesome because without this cooperation we wouldn't get far. but it's working, and it's really, really great. Now, also, a big part of what you said was basically about whether the complaints are justified or not. So if truly player broke some rules, like knowingly and willingly, of course, we cannot really help them, I guess, only just to educate them. Sometimes it's only a misunderstanding between players and casinos, and that's where I guess the involvement of casino can be really helpful when they say, okay, we understand, and sort of come through this human position, like, yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Okay, great. And I have one more question regarding that. It's communication with players. I mean, we covered casinos, right? And now we obviously have to cover players as well. How's working with them like? Because I can imagine that sometimes frustrated players can treat the complaint form as a place they can air their grievances, and sometimes forgot about basic communication. So how's that like? How do you handle it?
Well, sometimes it happens, of course, and we absolutely understand that. Something happened to them and nobody wants to listen. And we are the first in the line that they can vent this.
Sure.
And it usually happens through the form or even through emails or on the forum. The guys from the community, they could tell the stories.
Yeah.
So what we do, we try to be patient. We try to stick to the facts, but we also warn all the users to keep the communication polite towards us, but also towards casino representatives who join the complaint thread. If the warning doesn't work, and the users keep their communication aggressive, attacks everyone, then we unfortunately block those accounts on our platform because we need to keep the space friendly and we need to resolve the problems. We are not there to be blamed, unfortunately. We are trying to help, not every time we are able to do so.
Sure. And also, I know you have a lot of patience, but nobody has that amount of patience. And it's just about constructive conversation, to keep it really polite. And what kind of complaint do you encounter most often? Whether it's justified or unjustified, what the player seems to have most trouble with?
Well, the number one frustration would be delayed payments. When players wait for their withdrawals longer than they expected, many casinos, they put in their terms and conditions that the withdrawal is processed within 48 hours. And then after 2-3 days, if a player doesn't receive their withdrawal, they're also of course, frustrated.
Understandable, especially if it's like a larger amount of money. Yeah.
So we always suggest to wait 14 days. I know it sounds a lot, but since 1/3 of the complaints is related to delayed payments, we really give a benefit of doubt to casinos. And we wait for 14 days until everything is checked, all the withdrawals are processed, so 14 days. Then number 2 would be KYC verification. When players encounter problems with identity checks, the instructions from the casinos are not clear, repeated requests for the same documents. Well, so number 2 would be KYC. And number 3, last maybe 18 months, self-exclusion.
Really?
It used to be blocked accounts and everything else went to position number 3. But lately it's self-exclusion. When players requested their accounts to be blocked and later they questioning casino's action.
That's also interesting because we had also Shimon Vince on our podcast, and he was telling us about his new project and that a lot of data comes from these self-exclusion player complaints. So basically you're saying that it was an increase of these self-exclusion player complaints, which is, I think it's a very serious topic in itself. And would you say that usually these self-exclusion complaints are justified?
Well, I would say 50-50. Really, every case is different.
I understand
and
that, yeah.
Sometimes one message from a player to a casino makes a huge difference. We try to educate the players how properly ask for self-exclusion if it's related to gambling problem. I know it's not always easy to admit because it's a serious issue, but the clearer the message is, the easier it is for us to help.
Sure. Yeah. Also, I feel like it's a slippery slope because sure, it's very important and serious complaint, but also we know that sometimes players use these self-exclusion options as almost a panic button, and then they get frustrated that it doesn't work the way they thought. So it's also, what we do, it can also be perceived as sort of education for players on how self-exclusion actually works and what they can expect and what's not so common in the industry. So while we're on a topic of these serious complaints, and I don't mean just self-exclusion, but also when they involve a large sum of money, how do you ensure, that everything is truly transparent and that we made the right decision and truly helped player as best as we could?
Well, we try not to make a difference if the disputed amount is huge or if it's just a few dollars. We try to collect as much evidence as we can, ask what happened, try to involve the casino. For us, really, disputed amount doesn't play such a big role. We believe that each player, even if the disputed amount is a few dollars, as I said, or if it's we had a complaint for 1.9 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Was that the biggest one?
The biggest one.
Wow.
And it wasn't different. The procedure is always the same.
Well, that's remarkable, truly. But still, I can imagine that for first responder or for resolver, it's sort of like, oh my God. Even though the process stayed the same, I guess the feeling can be sort of different. So it's a lot of responsibility. But you guys handle it beautifully, so it's not a worry there.
Thank you.
But what I was sort of getting at was our fair gambling codex. I don't know if you guys are working with that closely, but that also covers a lot of our approaches and stands and basically show us the way when we are not sure about cases and stuff like that. So yeah, I wanted you to talk a little bit more about that, how this fair gambling codex plays in your work.
We also helped a little bit gambling codex to evolve thanks to our complaints.
Oh, so
because if we realize that something makes sense more than terms and conditions of any casino, then we try to implement that into our gambling codex. And if you asked me just a few months ago, we didn't even have manuals. And we worked as a team when everyone remembers something.
Yeah, so the knowledge was like shared.
Shared knowledge, exactly.
In that room.
But fortunately, we have manuals now, quite a lot. The first one was about self-exclusion.
Wow.
So now everyone in the team can follow the same procedures, and it's really helpful. So Fair Gambling Codex and our manuals, those are the two things that help us a lot when we deal with the complaints.
Yeah. The things that you can guys lean on, basically. Yes. That's really good to know that our Fair Gambling Codex is really backed by real world experience that we gathered from players and casinos based on our complaint resolution center. That's also a big part of what we do, I guess. And yeah, still on the topic of those complicated cases, because I'm fascinated. What would you say is even complicated case? I mean, I mentioned it couple of times already. But is it when you cannot possibly gather more proof, or both sides make a good point? Like, what do you do then? What are these?
Well, a complicated case might be a one that drags for a long time. When you see that a player gave you all the evidence they have, it makes a perfect sense. And then we contact casino and they give us their side of the story. And
it's completely different.
And it makes a perfect sense again, but from the completely other side. So then we need to collect all the evidence from the player, check the timelines, check for everything possible and impossible. Sometimes it's really difficult and time consuming. Maybe it can get frustrating for the players when we ask more and more questions. Sometimes we say, this is the last one, and then we really gonna check with the casino. And then the casino replies and we need to ask again.
I understand.
So these cases are really complicated. If they take weeks, maybe months. We had a case, disputed amount was $5. And it dragged for 11 months. So
it's the principle of the thing, though.
It's really frustrating sometimes, especially for the players. And for us, it's really difficult because we need the communication keep going. We need to stay patient as well. And sometimes we are between two rolling stones when both sides of the story make perfect sense. But even the short cases can be considered complicated ones. When we need to check a lot of details, maybe about the bonus abuse or self-exclusion, and we need to check really into detail what happened, how it happened, when it happened, why it happened. It's many questions that we need to ask. And if we are lucky enough and both sides cooperate properly, then the information keeps coming every day. So we need to check all the information properly.
And update the complaint with the new information every day. And I cannot imagine a complaint dragging 11 months. I mean, $5 or not, I guess. Okay, we said that our player complaints or complaint resolution center also is not just about returning money back to players, but also it's a place where we can actually improve by our working with both players and upper casinos at the same time to improve the standards overall. So yeah, it's the principle of the thing, and it's good that we deal with also player complaints for $5. But I can imagine that it's really, really hard to continue. And does it happen that players, when it's dragging for so long, that players decide to stop talking to you or become unresponsive?
Absolutely. 1/3 of the complaints that we receive end up being rejected because the player stopped responding. And it's either because it drags for so long, or by explaining the problem from our side to the player, they realize that there is no way for us to help. So it's perfectly fine. And even these players, if they have many complaints that they stopped responding, they still have a chance to come back and submit new complaints.
Yeah, sure. That makes perfect sense. Can you maybe give us one more example beside the $5 without naming any names of some truly challenging player complaint, and how did your team approach it? What did you learn from it? And what was the result?
Well, we had a complaint, as I mentioned, for 1.9 million US dollars. And it's been resolved by a resolver who's not longer with us. But he managed it perfectly. Really, we discussed it internally, the whole team. He contacted casino many times. It was a really difficult case. And then the player confirmed after several weeks that everything worked out. So that was perfect. And I really like that all the complaints stay public. Of course, sometimes the players themselves or casino, they ask us to keep the replies private, but it's only to protect players' privacy.
Sure.
But all the complaints stays. We do not remove any complaints. Even asked by casinos or players, we do not remove anything.
So for anybody.
For anybody. And it helps all the players to make informed decision where they can deposit the money. So the entire history of the casino is there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Would you say that particular case of 1.9 million or whatever was your and your team's biggest accomplishment, or is there something else you're truly proud of when it comes to your work and your team?
Well, we are really proud about a few things. How we've grown, not only in numbers, but the knowledge, the procedure, what everything we learned on the way in those 6.5 years.
Yeah.
It's been amazing how we simplified the process for the casinos and for the users as well. We are really proud about the amount of the money that we helped to return to players.
Big part.
It is... we do not really have influence over the amount always, as we work as a mediator.
Yeah.
But it's something to celebrate, of course. If we have a complaint for a huge amount of money and we have a confirmation from the player that it's been resolved.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm super proud about the team as how we work together. And when the complaints overflow, and that happens,
Really?
especially around this time
Around
of the
Christmas.
year. Absolutely. Everyone steps in and we help each other. And everybody is willing to help those who have many cases, difficult cases. So I'm really proud about the team and how they work together.
That's so sweet. Yeah, and now I'm interested in this Christmas period, though. Like, is it every single year that the complaints go up during this Christmas time?
Absolutely.
Any other, like, does it happen
before summer holiday?
Before summer holiday, okay.
Before summer holiday and before Christmas, we usually have spikes there.
Oh, wow. Interesting observation, though. And I feel like it's really unlucky one, because that's always even time for our colleagues when they want to have a little bit of peace. And sometimes they can. Well,
for complaint resolution center, it doesn't work this way.
Yeah. And also looking in the future, maybe, I don't know, would you like to grow your team even more? Or what are some other improvements or innovations or something simply new that we can look for when it comes to Complaint Resolution Center? Is there something in the works for you guys?
Well, the procedure and the process evolved quite a lot in those 6 years. So I would say our main focus now is to get better in how we communicate with the players and with casinos as well. We would like to collect feedback from users and from casinos. So we all work as one. If they dislike anything, if they prefer something to be different or any suggestions, and that's going to be our main focus for the following year.
You mean more like get a feedback on how they like your like tone of voice or style or approach, or how, I don't know, friendly you were or not friendly, and that sort of thing.
Exactly. I
Just
guess.
to improve the user experience of it all.
Exactly.
And soft skills, I guess. That's a really cool project that we can move on to once we have these procedures and like standards set in stone, and we can improve otherwise. I have only 2 final questions for you. I mean, it's a one question really, but it's sort of a twofold. And first of all, we've been talking about player complaints, and obviously players are a big part of that, but also casinos that help us resolve a lot of these complaints. So the first question is, what are your key recommendations for players? What they have to include in a complaint to make sure it's resolved effectively, or at least to, have a good experience with Complaint Resolution Center?
Well, I would say stick to the facts.
Yeah, you said that before. Yeah.
Even if you are aware of making any mistake, please tell us straight away. Please do not try to hide it, because that only slows down the entire process if we find out later. So even if you made a mistake and because you were unaware of any rule, or you simply forgot about something, please tell us straight away. Stick to the facts. Provide as many supporting evidence as you can. Stay polite and stay responsive.
That's awesome. Now, same question or slightly different, but for the operators, or maybe, I don't know, casino affiliates similar to us, when they try to, reduce reduce the number of complaints they have with us, or maybe they want to have their own in-house complaint handling processes, what would you suggest they do?
I would say do not stick to your terms and conditions blindly. Try to adopt an individual or maybe a human approach to each case. Sure. I know it's difficult, but that's what makes a huge difference for the players. And if any issue is explained internally, casino versus player, they can avoid having any complaints on our website. That will be an ideal scenario.
Yeah.
But if a complaint emerges, then please respond. Please do not drag the time. If you do not respond, players get frustrated, and it's even more difficult to reach any common ground and resolve an issue. And the third thing, do not ignore players who have shown any signs of harm and they asked to be self-excluded.
Sure.
We want to keep the entire gambling sustainable and fun. And if operators ignore these players and adopt approach that is not user-friendly, but try to misuse it, then this is not something that we would like to support or see. So do not ignore those players. Even a small sign of harm, any signs of gambling addiction, please close those accounts. And this is how you prevent many complaints on our website.
Yeah, it's very, very good advice. Are you guys taking note? I hope so. I feel like it's also important to realize that, especially casinos, by resolving these complaints and having this player approach, they basically help not only the players, but themselves, because, players remember, they come back, the reputation of a casino is improving, and the whole industry, I guess, it's safer. and more fair for players. So yeah, I guess that could be our message at the end. Thank you very much, Petronelka. It was a wonderful interview, and I think we all learned a lot, and we really appreciate having you here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. And to everyone watching also, if you're a player with a dispute or you're iGaming professional who would like to know more about how these complaint handling works, we hope you found this interview helpful, and we will link the Casino Guru Complaint and Resolution Center in the description of the interview, so check it out. And I guess that's it from us. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.